Knicks family, what's poppin' with you? It's your boy. And I'm glad to be back in the building. It seems like it's been a while. It's only been about, I don't know, what was it, maybe last Thursday since I've been here on MBK? But I'm glad to be back in the building, ladies and gentlemen. We got a few things to talk about. Not a whole lot going on in the world of the New York Knicks, but we got a few things to talk about. What I do want to do is I want to announce to you that our sportscaster, we finally have the NBK official network up and popping. And we got some of your favorite characters from NBK that's going to be dropping content on the official network. So please make sure that you get over there and join the network. Sportscaster.com/nothing-but-Knicks. And I know you're used to that already. All right, you're already used to it. That's okay, because it's a different looking website now. All right, let me tell you who's on there. Isaiah's on there. Guillermo's on there. Savvy's on there. And the guy I got in the chat, Nick, he's going to be on there as well. All right, so make sure you get over there and check it out. Follow the official Nothing But Knicks NBK network on Sportscaster, because we got a lot of good things that's going to be popping off over there, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so without further ado, let me get my guy Nick over here in the building, and let's we're gonna talk a little bit. We got a few things to talk about. Nick, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Glad to be alive. Glad to be a Knicks fan. That's all I gotta say.
Man. I hear you. I hear you on that one, man. I hear you on that one. Look, it seems like the NBA is angling to come back. You know, we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but it seems like the NBA is angling to come back. You know, maybe there's going to be something happening in in Orlando, NBA with Disney. And I got some questions about it and how you think that's going to happen, but we'll save that till we get to the end of the show. All right, because all you guys who are on YouTube, you guys know how the process goes, man. You know, a portion of the show is going to be here on YouTube, but then eventually we're jumping over to Sportscaster, and that's where we're going to finish up. All right, so make sure that you join us over on Sportscaster with the link that I just put in the chat. You'll see it pop up because we're live. But before we even, but let's go ahead and let's start getting to the topics. All right. This is what I want to ask you, Nick.
All right.
Tyrese Haliburton, Lamelo Ball. An article came out today about Tyrese Haliburton. Not today, I'm sorry, a couple of days ago. About Tyrese Haliburton in the New York Post. Mm-hmm. And it really just talked about how, his personality, who he is, will wow you. And it talked a little bit about how he might be a pretty good fit for the New York Knicks as well. All right, now, the New York Knicks, I don't know if the New York Knicks said it, but it's been reported that LaMelo Ball is the Knicks. That's their guy. That's their draft choice. That's my guy as well.
Okay.
But my question is this. Is Tyrese Haliburton, because when you look at what he does, and you look at what LaMelo Ball does, and you look at some of the things that Tyrese Haliburton is good at doing, playing defense, shooting the three ball, is he actually better for the New York Knicks than LaMelo Ball?
Better than LaMelo Ball? I would say day one, yes. Next year, the seasons after that, you're still talking about. Okay, let's just start off with what Haliburton is good at. Off the ball, catch and shoot. He's not really good creating for himself, and he's not really good at getting to the rim. The other thing that he's not good at, which is not really not good, but he doesn't have the weight. So he needs to put on weight, muscle. He's only like 160, 180, somewhere in that range. And so he has got to put on weight, getting to the rim, drawing fouls. He's averse to it. So if you think of Frank, if Frank gets you angry at getting to the rim, he's the same exact thing. He does not try to get to the rim. So you got to ask yourself, can you develop him into that type player? But if you like RJ at the point guard spot, he's a good player for RJ to play off of, where he could make high IQ passes, catch and shoot. And he could shoot the three, he could catch and shoot all day, and he's good at that. If you get him instead of LaMelo Ball, you still got to get another player. So an Alonzo Trier type, a guy who could also create off the dribble and also shoot. So it depends on the type of coaching, the type of other players, because you need one more shooter or high level shooter outside of Haliburton, and you could have a complete team. If you like RJ at point, then he's good. LaMelo Ball, he could just do a lot. He just can't shoot that well right now, and he's got to learn how to choose his shots better. So it's a trade-off. They do a lot of the same things. Neither one are great on defense. Defense shouldn't be your number one concern, but you need someone else who could shoot next to him, who could create off the dribble, and that's pretty much it, man. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I would say I think Tyrese Haliburton might be a better defender. I don't know about on the ball, but at least playing the passing lanes and being active in that way. Gamma, what do you think, man?
He gets a lot of steals, and that's off the ball.
Off the ball.
But on ball, he's not good. Like, you'll see him just miss. Think of Damian Dotson. Well, not Dotson. God. It is somebody on the Knicks. Maybe I don't know. There's some guys, because like right now, Dennis Smith on ball is better than him.
Who?
And Tyrese Haliburton?
Dennis Smith Jr. on ball is better than Tyrese Haliburton.
Ooh.
No, I don't know. No.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Dennis Smith, when he is locked. So this is the thing about Dennis Smith. Dennis Smith fades with focus, but when he is focused, he is better than Tyrese Haliburton on ball. I mean, compare the two. If you want, Dennis Smith had a 7-steal game. You won't see that from Haliburton. Dennis Smith did it all on ball defense. Just compare them. If you want to believe me, don't believe me. I don't care. But that's my take.
I mean, it's hard to say because Tyrese Haliburton hasn't been in the NBA yet, right? So it's hard to say.
There's a film from him in college at a low level where and again, his teammates are not good. He has to do everything, but he still on ball doesn't show as much as Dennis Smith on ball. And that's not saying much, but you know. And heck, I think Dennis Smith is better than LaMelo Ball on defense.
Okay. Gamo, what do you think, man? Is Haliburton better for the Knicks? I'm not saying a better player than LaMelo Ball or will be a better player than LaMelo Ball, but is he better for the Knicks than LaMelo Ball?
Right. Just to say something real quick on the Knicks thing, on Knicks comment. I think you got to go back and watch some film because I'm literally looking at an article right now that says that even though the sample size is small, that Tyrese Haliburton landed in 84th percentile and forces opponents to miss 15 of their 18 shot attempts. And I think he averages close to around 2 steals per 36 minutes. I got to check that up again.
Hold on, Guillermo. The steals are off-ball steals. He reads the game well off-ball, but
no. I'm looking at total steal numbers, bro. I'm looking at total.
But that's fine. I understand that, but you got to put it into context. Like, he
averages 2.5, but fair enough. But I'm looking at scouting reports, and it literally, because I'm looking at one article that's comparing Hayes and Haliburton, and it literally says that, you know, even though Haliburton is scrawny, that Haliburton excels individually while Hayes is better suited to work away from the ball. So you might actually have it the other way around. Now everything else.
Okay, wait. Individually, where in on defense?
Yes.
Hell no.
As in one-on-one. I think they're saying relatively. So don't think of the absolutes. I think they're comparing Haliburton and Hayes.
I understand that, but I could go back to Chad Ford. I just listened to Chad Ford, Sam Vecini, what's the other guy? Kevin O'Connor. You could go down the line to Stepien. Like, all of them says that Haliburton on-ball defense is not as good. And then when you watch the tape, it is not as good. But his off-ball He gets steals. That's where he gets his money. Doesn't drive.
I know one of the issues with him is that obviously his weight. I think he's 6'3", 170, 180, something crazy like that. I think he was even lighter. So just to get to the main question, who would I rather take? I mean, at this point, because you need a point guard who can, like everything else, I agree with Nick in regards to the fact that Haliburton doesn't really create his shot or really force the issue into the paint or into penetrate into the heart of defense. He doesn't really have a nice stop and pop game just because his shot is so wonky. Even though he is shooting at 82% from the free throw, and he shot like 40, I think above 40% from three. This pack, 41.9% from three.
Yeah,
right?
41.9% from three,
which is pretty rich. So that means that look, his shot is ugly, and he doesn't jump to it. So I mean, when a comparison you could say is SGA from the Thunder. And that comes to who I'd rather take. And at this point, I'd take Lamelo because SGA can work with Chris Paul. I think at sometimes they even ran like 3 guards on the Thunder during the season. So, I mean, that's a unique situation. We don't have a Chris Paul. Now, obviously, if we got Chris Paul, I would think about it because, again, as much as I think Lamelo is talented, it scares me that he went to a lower league. And I know people are going to kill me, but, again, the NBL is not – I think Nick brought this up before, at least you're talking about the chat. The NBL is not, where Barcelona, Tel Aviv is not that level of play. So you're getting no disrespect to anybody who plays NBL, but those are guys who probably couldn't get to other European leagues and have to obviously take a step below the top competition of European leagues, which then you also have to discount that sometimes compared to college basketball. And that scares me that he was not efficient in a lower league, which means that he may have the talent, but he may not have the natural ability to get past guys, to dribble, all the things you want in a base level player. But and that's not even to say he's not talented, but it just scares me that he's not dominating those guys, right? So when he gets to the NBA, how are we going to assess him? So, but I mean, again, for a team where I think that the ball has to be shared amongst guys like RJ Barrett, guys like Trier, if he can freaking play, Frank, whoever's going to be in the backcourt where the ball's going to be moving around, you're not just have LaMelo have 60-70% of the possessions, then I think you could bring Melo on, slowly bring him along. He doesn't have to try to do everything, which sometimes that could push down your efficiency. But I think at this point I'd rather take LaMelo just because we don't have that extra point guard to kind of have player behind like how SGA has with Chris Paul.
Right. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Mark, I'm coming to you because I know Mark jumped in the chat because, he got something to say, right? I'm going to come to you in just a second. I'm going to take this moment and look at the scouting report on both of these players real quick, and then we'll come back. We'll hear from Mark and kind of finish up this whole conversation. So let's take a look at Tyrese Haliburton first. Look, he's 6'5", 185. He's a sophomore. He's 20 years old. He averaged 15.2 points per game this season. 5.9 rebounds, 6.5 assists per game. He averaged 1.5 steals, 2.8 turnovers. He shot 50.4% from the field, 41.9% from three, and he shot 82.2% from the free throw line. He did have a broken left wrist in February of 2020. You would think that, that's not going to affect his career. We would hope. Usually, a broken wrist can heal and should be fine. Looking at his strengths as a player, he has excellent vision and he's an excellent passer. He's smart, he's crafty, he's a facilitator. He's an efficient scorer, as you can see. He shot 50% from the field, 41.9% from three. He's an active defender and plays the passing lanes. That's not to say on the ball, but he is active and can play the passing lanes. He's small, so we'd have to see how he can defend in the NBA. He is a guy that seems very unflustered. I like guys like that seem unflustered, right? Now, where's he got to develop? He's got a thin, wiry frame, so he's going to have to get stronger, to play in the NBA and to be successful in the NBA. He's going to have to get stronger. The question is, can he play versus strong guards? Will guys be able to push him around because of his thin, wiry frame? He's not an explosive athlete, and like Guillermo said earlier, he does have kind of a push shot. And that could be a problem in the NBA, you know, with him being able to get a pull-up jump shot off. You know, and he doesn't seem to be a natural scorer. He's an efficient scorer, but a natural scorer that's going to get you buckets from anywhere. Now let's look at Lamelo Ball. All right, Lamelo Ball, 6'8", 180, another skinny guy, but he's going to grow. He'll get bigger. All right. He played in Australia. He's 18 years old, averaged 17 points per game, 7.6 rebounds, 6.8 assists. He averaged 1.6 steals, 2.5 turnovers. He only shot 37.5% from the field. And he only shot 25% from three. He shoots 72.3% from the free throw line. All right, now look, he is a natural playmaker. Right? Just listen, you talk about a natural playmaker. He has stuff that is not taught, that you cannot teach to people, right? He just has it. You know, he can see things happen, and he can see plays being, you know, getting ready to happen and make them happen. He can score from anywhere. He has a good basketball IQ, good awareness of the floor. He can play up-tempo or half-court. And he has a good nose for the ball, good defense. You know, people say he's terrible on defense. I don't know if he's going to be a terrible defender throughout his career. I think he's okay defense. Maybe not as good as Tyrese Haliburton. Right? Upper body strength, he's going to have to work on that upper body strength, right? Upper and lower body strength. His shot selection and field goal percentage, he's got to work on that. He does gamble defensively, and he will turn the ball over. He's averaged 2.5 turnovers per game. All right, so that's a breakdown between the two guys. And, you know, the reason why I ask whether or not Tyrese Haliburton is a better fit for the New York Knicks, it's because his ability to play the passing lanes.
That is
it's
not
because
I didn't know.
He is a shooter, and the Knicks need a shooter. Crafty, smart. You know, that's the reason why I asked this question. So, Mark, I'm coming to you, Mark.
I want to develop
Talk to me, Mark.
Skills for their proper position for the size.
Talk to me, Mark.
So, the Haliburton kid, right?
Right, it's be a big
His
ass
shot bothers me a lot.
Disgusting.
But he is I would say he's going to be a pro in the NBA. But is he a guy with high ceiling, or is he just going to be a good pro? I just think he's going to be a good pro. He's efficient because he's not a volume scorer. I think he gets his points within the game. He's a good rebounder. His defense, he's very active. I'll give you that. He's very active with his hands and his placement and the way how he plays defense. He's a good heady guard. I think he gets players into their spots. He's more of that point guard, not more of the say Lamelo type point guard. He's more like, he just remind me, a lot of his game remind me of Sean Livingston. He's able to control, manage the game. He's a managing point guard when you watch Haliburton play. His efficiency, it kind of surprised me, but that's just because he plays in the flow of the game. He's not somebody who's going to take 15 shots a game. No, he's not that type of player. So his numbers is good. I ain't gonna hold you, but he's not a value shooter. So it's okay. He's a good player, but to take him there, to take him before any other point guards, I'd have took Killian Hayes before I take him because of his upside, and he's younger. This dude is 20 years old. He's 20 years old.
He's 20, right.
Tyrese
Haliburton is 20. Killian Hayes is 18, right?
Yeah. And he's the Haliburton kid is no scrub at all. He's no scrub. It's no scrub. Not at all. His IQ's there. He know how to run a team. I'll give him that. But I tell people the Knicks are in a situation where you just take the most talented player. Now, if he was uber talented, I'd probably take him. Again, he's more of a steady guard. You could already see what his game is because of his shot. That push shot.
Right. So let me ask you a question. Which player out of Haliburton and Ball has the most boomer bust potential or the most bust potential?
It's funny. It could be both. It could be both. It could be both. But because LaMelo has such a higher ceiling, he's gonna get the look more because Haliburton is not looking in that stratosphere. So it is gonna be LaMelo. He has the most bust, but just when you watch him, his bust ain't gonna be like let's say who could I say? I can't give you a particular pick, but his bust ain't gonna be bad where he's not a serviceable guard in the league.
Okay.
He's gonna be able to stay in the league. But
okay. So you think Haliburton is safer, but he doesn't have the potential that LaMelo has? Like LaMelo has all-star potential and maybe Haliburton is safer, but you know, he may not have that all-star potential.
And just because Haliburton don't have that speed, oh my God, that can hinder you as for your ceiling to become higher in the league. How people look at you. His speed isn't which is what you really want, especially for the Knicks right now. You want someone that could really push the tempo. And the efficiency numbers from LaMelo, it is kind of crazy to look at that and say, like, why would I even take him for shooting 30-some% and 20? It's kind of crazy.
That's why I asked this question, because the Knicks need people who can score efficiently on this team. That's why I asked the question, because LaMelo Ball shoots 37% from the field, 25% from three. What makes us think it's going to change when he gets in the NBA? Now, well, let me not say that. What makes us think it's going to change his first year in the NBA? When he gets to the second and third year, we hope that it does change and develop. But obviously, Tyrese Haliburton is going to continue to grow as well. But what if those numbers don't change?
Oh, listen.
That's the scary part.
I tell you this. Not saying I want to be surprised, but I feel overly confident. I really do. Because I think the Ball brothers are gym rats. They are gym rats. I just don't see them failing. And just the way he approached the game don't give me the lack of confidence that he will fail. Because if I had a problem, if even with the efficiency numbers, how they came on and said no. But just the way how he approaches the game alone, I just feel like I don't think nothing's gonna stop him. That's how I feel. Because if I felt like how I feel about Knox in a certain light, I'd have told you, hell no, don't draft him. Go for the more, semi-safer player in that case. But it's just he has cerebral talent. He just his skill set. His skill set as a point guard, he's just like, you don't ignore that. You just don't ignore that. You don't ignore that. His high supreme of ball handling and passing for our young guys to make them better. And he looks to get these guys better. So it's just, listen, you take the guy with the highest ceiling. Yeah, it might look bad of his efficiency numbers, but I just feel like he's a gym rat. And I feel like he's going to work hard on his game. I just feel. Just from the way he approached the game.
But look, Mark, let me talk to these guys here in the chat for a second, and I'm going to be back. We're going to talk about Cole Anthony a little bit. We'll talk about Dennis Smith Jr., Patrick Ewing. We'll talk about the NBA opening up. But let me talk to these guys. I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to head over exclusively to Sportscaster. So make sure you join me there. Like I said, we're going to talk about what are the Knicks going to do with Dennis Smith Jr. or what can they do? We're going to talk about that next. All right. We're going to talk about Patrick Ewing getting out of the hospital. Thank goodness. That'll be a short conversation. And then we're going to talk about the NBA at Disney and, the whole situation that's going on there. The possibility of the Knicks being in the playoffs. We talked about that before. But mostly we're going to be talking about the NBA maybe open it up come July. So make sure you join me on Sportscaster. And I do want to show you this before I get up out of here. I want you to take a look at the Sportscaster Network, at the NBK Network on Sportscaster, ladies and gentlemen, because it's dope. You know, and I know I've seen some people, you know, popping noise and talking junk in the chat, whatever. Right? Get on over there and join me on Sportscaster. Here you go. This is what the NBK Network, official network, looks like, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so make sure that you join us there. This is the Nothing But Knicks official network. That means a bunch of your favorites from NBK will be broadcasted, and you can see who this NBK family is. And of course, that includes you. You are part of the NBK family, so that means that you got to get on over there to the network. All right, so this is what the NBK official network looks like. Make sure that you get over there and join us, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't want you to miss any of the action. We got a lot of good stuff lined up over there. All right. So, without further ado, let me get back over here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. I'm going to be exclusively on Sportscaster. You can go right here, putting it in the YouTube chat so that you can join Knicks Weekly the rest of the way as we talk about these topics and all this stuff, all right? Join me over on Sportscaster right now, ladies and gentlemen. See you over there. As a matter of fact, let me get the actual link to the video. That might be a little bit better because I know some of you don't think well, you know, so, you know, put this on over there. Well, Ishmael, you know what? If you don't like it, you don't have to come over there. That's fine. If you don't like Sportscaster, don't go over there. But actually, Sportscaster is very innovative, my friend. And if you knew a little bit about what they were doing over there, you'd understand. They have some things going on that other platforms just do not. Very innovative site over there at Sportscaster, doing a lot of new and innovative things. So anyway, join me over there at Sportscaster, regardless of what Ishmael or anybody else says. I look forward to seeing you there. The link is also in the description of this video, my friend. And I'll see you there. I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. Join me.